will just say
interesting.
something controversial. This is going to sound really pickup artisty, so I'm going to try to make it sound not that, but it's a hard truth. I think that in order for people to, I don't want to say like have respect for each other as a couple, but to, I guess, like respect each other sexually, they have to know that the other person could pull. Does
Sure.
that make sense? That sounds really mean because I don't want people to be like, okay, so I'm gonna remind my girlfriend that people are interested in me. Don't do that. That's not the way. But like I know for sure my husband can pull. Like I know people find my husband attractive, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to say like it keeps me on my toes. It makes me work harder, but like again, I'm not going to slack here. At the end of the day, my husband has the capability to pull a beautiful woman who could treat him well. And I know that. And so I maintain my position as the most beautiful, best treating wife. But I think a lot of people, they get really comfortable and they don't really like see that as often. They're not in, I mean, respectfully, most people will not hit on your partner in front of you. They, of course, they're not going to do that, but I I think that the wife here is probably picking up on something. Something is giving him confidence outside of
A
her.
change in his demeanor, a change in, anything that makes him look a little bit more attractive or something. I don't, who knows? You ladies are much more apt to pick up on those subtle little things and body language and so forth that we don't see. You're just wired in that way. You can instantly, when the guy walks in the door and something's different, you go, something's different. What's up with them? And the guy's like, God damn, this woman can just, sense everything. The women's intuition, it's a thing. The sixth sense. But you're encroaching on a pretty controversial topic, as you know.
Yes.
Not everyone is wired in that way, where it's when I see my partner being lusted after by others, or if I recognize that they have a sense that they have a level, a value to them that is attractive to others, that in turn makes me more attracted to them. That doesn't apply to everyone, but it applies to enough that we can say, that's a very real thing for sure. And there's a little scenario that I've written about and I've talked in videos about, which is very real. A lot of men can attest to this, which is, let's say you go to some public function like a Christmas party or something for your office, and you're there with the wife and you're schmoozing with people and introducing the wife to people, and the office bimbo, we all know her, comes over
The work wife.
the work comes over and hangs on the husband's arm and says to the wife, "You are so lucky to have a man like this. Are you kidding me? He's so handsome." And then the entire night during the Christmas party, she's just laughing at all of his jokes and and oh, your shirt looks so good on you, and looks at the wife, goes, "Your husband, doesn't he look good? Did you dress him? He looks so nice," and on and on and on for hours. And then they leave, and the wife's just looking at the husband in the car. He's like, "Well, your friend sure seemed to like you, didn't she?" And he's like, "What can I tell you? I don't know." And you know what those guys report what happens when they get home? Oh, they have fun. And he's like, "I don't know where this energy came from, but holy crap." And I was like, "I'll tell you where it came from. Your wife saw that you are, in fact, a catch. And the pretty office bimbo sure seems to like you." And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a very human, natural tendency. A lot of men will report the same. My wife put on a new little dress I got her, and whoa, she looked, woof. And I went into a restaurant and I watched every guy's eyes turn and look at her when she walked in, and women too. I'm like, well, she's pretty.
Yeah,
And that made me stand a little taller and realize I got a good thing. And I
exactly.
and the next
And
day I
that's
bought her something or whatever. And it keeps things alive, keeps the spark alive for sure.
yes, it's and that's the healthiest interpretation of it because of course what you don't want to become is like, oh, my girl's getting hit on, I gotta keep her close, keep her from going out, or oh, this girl hit on my man at Home Depot and now I'm gonna go back there and get her fired. Like you don't want that mentality, and you also don't want the mentality of like, oh well, they're getting hit on, so now I have to go on a diet or start wearing luxurious clothes or something like that. That's not the mentality that you want to have. It's My husband and I, if we ever get flirted with, we kind of take that as like a big compliment. Like, that's my man. That's right. He's like, that's my girl getting hit on right there. You know, like as long as you have that trust with each other. Of course, obviously, it's different here when things are on the rocks. But I have to admit, when there is a loss of attraction or a dry spell, if you're a man who suddenly starts getting attention, and I'm not saying go out and try to get it and try to put it in front of her face, but if you are getting something that is giving you confidence outside of the marriage, typically we will pick up on that. And like,
It's maybe not necessarily limited to just somebody else is showing me some kind of romantic interest. Somebody's checking me out in that way. It's also in terms of you are up on the proverbial stage, getting some kind of accolades. A lot of women will report, my husband was never sexier than when I went to some company function and he gave a presentation or he won an award and he was up on stage and everyone stood up and clapped for him, or he was given some big bonus because he was salesman of the year or something like that. And I just realized, whoa, he's special. He's different. Everyone looks up to him and the attraction points go up, tenfold because of that. There's nothing wrong with that. So what we're seeing is this just very natural human tendency of this person is wanted, admired, they have status, whether that status is in the terms of professional or sexual or whatever it is. And I'm lucky to have them. That's huge.
yeah.
That's huge.